Greetings, listeners. I'm your host this evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Twisted Gear Studios production. You're about to listen to The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast GM'd by Derek Snow. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge that during the recording of these episodes, one of our mics had a fault, and some lower quality audio is present in this recording. Please pardon our rest. Until then, please enjoy.
We're gonna step out of Skeet's General Store and see what we need for supplies, I guess.
Yeah.
What sort of supplies are you thinking about?
Are we gonna try
Supplies?
to remove that boulder? See what's left?
I'll grab the shovel.
This was years ago. There shouldn't be anything left, would there?
The shovel and the jack.
It's possible. We'll see. We'll see. We won't know until we get there, really. I mean, even the rock itself could be quite interesting.
What's interesting about a rock?
Well, if one came out of nowhere and killed a guy,
I'm
That's
sure it didn't come out
unique.
of nowhere. It had to come from somewhere, but,
I completely agree.
you know, someone who's been crushed by a rock, everything about it is interesting.
I would
What?
choose a
Don't
different
look
word.
at me like that.
Fascinating.
All right, let's get what we need.
Amos, are you also headed for this farm to look at this rock?
I might as well come too, unless it's a ladies-only endeavor.
No, definitely not. Does anyone happen to have a gun?
I do.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm not sure if I have one in my trunk.
And Skeet waves at you as you're standing at the door because you haven't left the general store yet. And he's like, "You looking for a gun, are ya? I might have a gun here somewhere."
Really? What kind?
Oh, I don't know. Shotgun.
I don't have one of those.
Well, we would just be borrowing it. Do you
Oh.
also have ammunition? I see.
Well, yeah, yes, my dear. I don't have a shotgun lying around not fully loaded. That'd be foolish.
Do you hunt much around here?
Hunting?
Or is
Oh.
it for protection?
I don't know. It's just you just keep the shotgun and you keep it loaded, and just in case, something happens, and then you got... No, I don't really hunt or nothing, and there's not much that happens. It's just been sitting around, up against the wall and stuff.
Just in case. I suppose that's sensible.
Yeah.
Yes,
the
you
Second
never know
Amendment.
who's going to come a-calling, right?
Suppose so.
That's right. Could be the government.
Does this mean you're willing to part with said shotgun for a limited
Oh,
period of time?
Well, yes. I trust you. I can lend it to you there. You're heading to the Montgomery Farm Stead, right?
Yes.
Yes, well, see, if you don't comes back, at least I'll know where to find it.
This
Well,
is
because
true.
you might move away like some of the other people, see? I don't know.
I'll pull out another $5 bill and put it on the counter for the rental of your gun. Skeet.
Yes, my ducky, not a problem. And he goes and he grabs, and it's like it's an old time double barreled massive shotgun,
Nice.
and he has some cartridges in a brown paper bag, double bag
Cartridge
That-
and a pear tree.
that he that he just
Facepalm.
has his hand stuck out from the table. He's like, "Here you go, ducky."
I'll take them.
Oh yes, there you
Oh.
go. There's some cartridges in there. Some may misfire, some may work. They should all work though.
Classically quaint as I look inside the paper bag.
Yes. They're good. They're good.
Wonderful.
They're good.
Shall we?
I'll take that shotgun from you. Do you know how to handle one?
I'd be willing to watch someone handle it. I'll be honest, I'm mostly interested in what happens afterward.
How would I take the shotgun, dear?
All right, here you go.
Thank you.
What's your rifle skill?
45.
You can have it.
And the
I'm
alien is
assuming you-
armed with only an old age double barreled shotgun and 2 brown paper bags wrapped in cartridges.
Amos, I'm assuming you also have a weapon?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I end up dealing with some shady individuals, so I
Good.
am well equipped.
Shall we then? And I'm going to go ahead and... Thank you very much, Skeet. You've been very, very helpful. We will see you again shortly.
Not a problem. I hope to see you soon.
I'm sure you will.
I'm hoping.
This is
Leaving the general store and going out to the trunk of the car.
Okay, so as you walk outdoors,
Yeah.
you do notice that it is not raining anymore at all.
Smoke them if you got them.
And the ground, of course, is still quite wet, and the sun is not shining. It's still fairly overcast. Dark clouds above, and just basically muddy and gross around the vehicle. But continue.
Are there any people on the streets now that it's no longer raining?
You do not see anybody
Is
on
there
the streets.
a light in any of the buildings nearby?
You do not see any lights in any of the buildings
Okay.
inside. Although, since you're looking around, I would like Marion to make a spot hidden roll.
I make that.
Okay,
24 out of 25.
put a tick on it there.
Damn.
So what you do notice is looking at some of the houses along, that some of the doors in some of the houses are open, and the wind is just blowing them back and forth.
Is there one very close by?
Only a couple of buildings down from the general store.
While they're looking through the trunk for things, I wander in that direction to kind of peer through the door.
Okay, fair enough. So since we're separating, I'll go to 3 of you together. Hey, since you're separating, I'll go to 3 of you together, and then I'll go.
Say splitting the party is not good in most RPGs, especially a.
It could be fine.
I will drink my water.
It could,
I'm not. I don't even say anything. I just start wandering.
Oh, I have no idea.
slowly
Yeah,
on
no.
that direction.
No. Which is fine. I would like the 3 of you. So you go to the trunk and you pop it open, and it's one of those situations where Althea has almost planned for almost every thing.
It's like
Almost.
Winchester
There's no
story.
elephant.
Supernatural.
So,
Yeah, not
got a
yet, but it
devil's
will be
trap.
that.
it's not raining anymore, but I am still going to recommend that we wear raincoats and boots, both of which I provide for everyone else.
I have.
Roll
long
me
coat,
a
I'm
luck
fine.
roll.
No.
Let's try my luck at the luck.
Now let me finish. If no, just roll. Just roll the luck roll. I won't make it any more complicated on you.
That is a 52 out of 60, so it is a success.
Yes. So, yes, she apparently has pre-planned this, thinking about the number of people that might go, and there is enough raincoats and stuff. They are a bright yellow.
I'm cool with my coat and hat, but I will take the boots.
I will also just take the boots, dear.
Suit yourselves. I'm leaving on my bright yellow raincoat.
No, thank
I'm also I get in there and dig around a little bit, and one of my hands reaches up, and I hand you a crowbar, Agatha. And I turn to Amos and think, so that shovel that we were using earlier could probably come in handy as well
I
at
agree.
some point. So I hand you the shovel.
you. Makes perfect sense to me.
What about lanterns?
Oh, I can take a lantern, and I'll do that, and I'll also make sure that I have something in my pockets to help keep it lit when it gets dark.
You make sure you have enough oil and stuff.
Do you have a couple of extra flashlights?
Yes, we'll also put the flashlights in. I believe I have 2. I think.
Yes, if you would have said any more, I would have said you had none, but okay. Yes, it's okay for you to have 2. They're the big, bulky ones with, like, almost a car battery on it.
Perhaps only one.
They're
We
quite
are
heavy.
going to be walking an hour there and an hour back in the muck carrying.
I could take one. I could carry that one if you'd like.
Okay, so 1 flashlight and a shovel for you,
Yep.
a crowbar
I already have a shotgun.
and a shotgun for you, and I will take the lantern. Perfect. Wonderful. Marion, Marion? Where did we...
How did we
Wah,
not know
wah,
she
wah.
left?
wah. right here
As
a
we're gonna
second
move
ago?
over, now we're
Do
gonna
I
go.
hear her?
We're gonna go a little bit back in time, and we're gonna go to Marion, who starts heading toward the house. Okay. You start walking toward, and you do notice that, like, because you were looking around anyway, you do notice that you don't see anyone really milling around. And the door is just creaking back and forth, and you walk over, and it is a house. It looks to be just a single story, small little hut, more than anything else, like a shanty. And you get within 5 feet of it, and then of course I'm not going to make your character do something you don't say you're doing. So you're just looking at the door, swinging back and forth.
So I move up close to the door. Can I see past the door into the house?
Oh yes, yes you can. It's fairly dark, but there is no light as such. There's no electricity out here.
Right.
Is the easiest way to put it.
Are there windows?
There are windows for sure. Did you want to peek in a window or try to peek in the door?
I'm assuming that the windows are dirty. I can't just see through them.
It is a safe assumption.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna walk closer. I don't want to touch the door yet.
Sure.
So I'm going to sort of peek through the window, like half peek through the window, but also kind of keep an eye on the door. So obviously I not going to be able to see much of anything. What I am going to do is, if I do see it, like I'm going to be mostly looking through the door. If I do see anything, I'm going to stop and sketch what I see in my notebook.
Oh, okay, fair enough. As you look in, it looks to be pretty much just this one large room.
Okay.
I mean, there are some bedrooms and stuff off to the side, but you can't really see them. But just like opens up into like a living room, if you
So
will.
I'm going to go up to the door and sort of push it to stay open, but
Sure.
not go in yet.
And as you look in, the one thing you do notice is pretty frugally. There's not much furniture here.
Okay.
There's a couple of shelves and stuff, and a kitchen table,
Does
and a
it
couple
look-
of chairs. But what you do notice is like the table's on its end. This place looks like it's been ransacked. It is what it looks like.
We're all gonna die.
Skeet says that from the.
Perfect.
Okay, so so standing at the door, sort of holding it open, I'm gonna hold it open with a foot, and then just like do a quick sketch of what I can see.
Sure.
It looks ransacked. Does it look rotten? Does it look like it's been abandoned for a long time?
It doesn't look like it's been abandoned for a long time. This actually looks like it's pretty lived in. It just looks like the place has been ransacked. You don't see anybody around at all. You do notice that there seems to be a lot of mud on the floor as well.
But there's mud. Are there footprints in the mud?
Yeah, you can tell that there has been footprints in the mud, but just it's not solidly formed. So it looks like
Okay.
the impression of feet, but not the detail that of a footprint, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like there was is there a trail?
It's all over the place
Oh, okay.
in here, but mostly near the entrance and leading into it, because it seems like a lot of the mud has came off during the initial walk into the building. Another thing you do notice is that the mud is of a dark red color, similar to the mud on your clothes.
This is just in order to figure out how curious I would be. If it looks like, I'm gonna stop and take a look at the footprints leading in. Because I can't really discern like a definite foot, like I can't really tell anything from this footprint. I'm assuming.
Well, not from where you are. There are some other footprints a bit deeper inside, but it's a bit dark. But you'd have to enter to get a good look at them.
Well, and I don't have a flashlight with me.
No, but there is still. It's fairly dark out, but there's still a bit of light. Like you could step in just a little bit if you wanted to look at footprints.
I don't really have the skill to be able to tell that, and if it's just mud with footprints,
Yeah.
I'll call out, say
Okay.
hello. Is anyone there?
So basically, now we're caught up on the same timeline
Okay.
where you both sort of call out for each other at the same time.
Oh, I'm calling into the house.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So as you're calling into the house,
Where did she go? Wasn't she standing here just a moment ago?
Wow, it's amazing how we lost track of one of four of us.
Considering how small this place is, that is quite amazing.
Looking on the
spot
street
hidden's
here.
for spot hidden's for the
Spot
three of you, because as you lean into the house a little bit, to call out, right?
No.
Close, but no. 32 out of 25. 18.
If you don't have a tick, put a tick. But I think you
have a tick.
you already have a tick, so that's all that matters.
Okay.
You start look over and you notice Marion just by one of the houses, just a couple of buildings down from the general store.
Hello, is
half
anyone in
into
there?
a house,
Oh, sorry. Hello, is anyone in there?
and you don't hear a reply at all from inside the house.
Okay. I shrug and turn around and start walking back.
Something catch your eye?
Just a lot of these homes look abandoned, and I don't know. It seems someone may have been squatting.
That's not unusual for small places like this. There's often abandoned homes around in a lot of small areas around the city.
It just seems like more than usual. I suppose it could be the people who've gone missing, but I don't know. Wouldn't a town like this, the people band together? Why would someone need to squat in what appeared to be a trashed home?
Well, any kind of shelter is good shelter for someone who's squatting.
It was raining quite heavily earlier.
And this town is kind of dying from the inside out.
I suppose, but Skeets was so nice to give us a place. I don't know. It's an uncomfortable feeling. Oh, are we about to leave?
Yes, I have boots and a very nice raincoat for you if you'd like.
Well, thank you.
Are we good?
I'm good.
We'd like to make this walk while we still have some
Yep,
light.
anything you need?
Especially since
Carrying
it
my
could start
satchel. If
pouring
you need
again.
me to carry anything else, just let me know.
All right.
I think we should be
Do we
all right.
need a medical kit?
Oh, my forensics bag. And I go into the trunk.
What about a medical kit that can be used before someone's dead? First aid kit, perhaps. As opposed to a last aid kit. Is there one? No? Only post-human kits?
Well,
Fantastic.
I also have a doctor's bag, but I mean, are we expecting something to happen?
I would rather have the materials needed to help us if something happens to us before we passed away, before grabbing equipment that is only for those that have already passed away.
Quite frankly, if something's happened to you that means you're going to pass away in the middle of a field, I don't think there's much my doctor's bag can do for you.
We're bringing the guns just in case. Let's bring the first aid kit just in case.
I was going to say, if I need to use my gun, I'd rather also have some wraps.
Well, I only have 2 hands, so I guess it's going to be a lantern and a doctor's bag.
I
Put
can
the
carry
forensics
something
bag
for you,
back.
if you wish.
That's all right. I'll just take one. If you like, you can take the lantern, though.
Sure.
Right? The forensics bag goes back with a great, heavy sigh back into the trunk.
Well, bags. We can each carry an extra bag. I could carry one of those bags for you.
That's all right. We're still judging this distance of this walk based on Skeet's estimation of the time it will take us to get there.
Valuable point.
Yes. We also don't know how bad the road is going to be, so the less we carry, the better. I will take the doctor's bag. Are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
Excellent. I slam the trunk shut. We are off.
As you just head outside of town and you follow one of the dirt roads for a while, you do notice it is quite muddy. There's no doubting that. But you'll notice this weird smell at this point as well. Just as you're walking along this trail, it smells like something like rotten vegetation. A little bit more than just muddy ground.
Is there some kind of investigation I can do to just take a look at what's around us? If there's something that stands out as to what's giving away the smell?
Maybe a natural world check? Would that be helpful
Sure.
in this kind of situation?
Sure.
Sure, all right.
Do a natural world.
Why not?
That's a no.
I'm gonna roll it.
Just for fun.
87 out of 20, I think might be a fail on my part.
Also fail.
Yes.
None of us have a clue.
So yeah,
Oh, that's vulgar.
it could be something commonly occurring. Maybe something from the mine. Maybe you remember hearing about the gas that blew up the church. It could be any of those things or none of those things.
You think this is bad? You should visit London at the height of summer. Now that is something that smells bad.
You work with dead people.
Yes, they also smell bad. But London in the summer? Oh my god. The Thames is a lovely river, but honestly, the things that go into it are unspeakable. Unspeakable. What?
I've been near dead people, and the smell is very, very, very comparable.
Well, I mean, you probably... I was going to say probably see them a bit fresher than I, but, you know, that's just an awkward conversation. Shall we go?
That's a fair point.
You do seem to be trying to distract us from the fact that you didn't want anyone else handling your forensics bag.
People seem to be very uncomfortable when I talk about the things that I'm interested in, so I, on occasion, try to make people feel more comfortable by
That's kind
doing
of you.
things that they are more comfortable with.
That is quite kind of you, I'm sure.
Can I take a look at the landscape? Is there anything that's changed?
You do notice now as you start, it's a bit of a hill, a bit of an incline as you're following this trail, that there's some woods that are starting to permeate off in the distance. So it seems like you might be moving a little bit away from straight up farmland. And there's some groves of trees off in the distance. Now, from Skeet's estimation, and you've been walking for a little bit, it shouldn't take much longer to get there, but that's Skeet's estimation.
Agatha, you mentioned you're an alienist. I'm afraid I'm not very familiar with your occupation.
Well, dear. As an alienist, I study the psychology and psychoanalysis of what I like to call them as clients.
Oh?
Alienist is a little bit of an archaic term, but essentially I help these clients basically see and heal their inner demons.
Oh my. So
That sounds like the biggest crock of mumbo jumbo I have ever heard in my life, madam. If I do say so as politely as possible.
And where would you put such troubled human beings, may I ask you, sir?
can they be healed?
Absolutely. The mind is not damaged, is merely broken, only to be put back together again.
I would like to say that to some of the people that I've seen that were broken and could not be put back together, but I will leave that conversation there for that one.
You seem to have a very pessimistic view on the world, sir.
I have what I like to call a realistic view of the world, man.
I feel like that is just very, very, very dark and sad.
With some of the things I've seen, dark and sad is very accurate.
You know, you and I should talk sometime.
We're talking right now.
So as you continue walking up the trail, you do you do notice that it gets a little bit brighter. The clouds aren't as dark at the moment as the trail seems to go between two groves of trees.
Oh, look, my sunny disposition has brought out move the clouds away.
And the mud has dried up a little bit as well, so it's not as, you're not really sinking in it. It's not as, gunky,
That's good.
if that's a word. As you start continuing, and you figure from your Skeet's estimation, from what he told you before, you should only be a couple of minutes away from the house at the moment.
Can we see much ahead on the trail or just all trees?
It just looks to be mostly just trees and the trail going into the trees, and there's a turn as the trail goes inside.
How thick is the tree, like the woods here?
Fairly thick.
I knew it.
But it seems that because it used to be farmland, it's been cultivated groves of trees.
Can I do a spot hidden into the forest? This might be a terrible idea. Just to see if there's something that's if I notice any movement in the woods.
Go ahead.
This is the paranoid detective in me. That's a no.
Yes, you don't notice anything into the otherwise normal woods.
Is there anything that can be heard? Is there sounds?
That is something that is good to bring up. None of you never really noticed, and it's never really came up at the moment, but you don't hear anything.
Is anybody kind of I have this off-putting feeling of there's no sounds.
It's rather unsettling.
What do you mean no sounds?
Shouldn't there be birds once the rain stops?
Or even insects. Even the hum of insects.
If I could go a couple days without hearing insects, it would be way too soon.
No, I understand, but it's still odd in such a thick and lush wood as this.
Everyone quiet for a moment. Can I roll a listen check?
Yes, everyone goes quiet, and anyone can roll a listen check that they want.
I got a good listen skill.
I don't.
Not that good.
0, 0 is 0, right?
0, 0, all of them are zeros?
A 0, 0, and then a 3.
So that would be
3%.
3%.
Holy cow.
81 out of 20 is definitely not a success.
I have 11 out of 67.
90 out of 40. No, sorry.
Okay.
75 out of 40.
You had a 3%. What is your listen skill set at?
30.
It's at 30. So Marion and Agatha both made an extreme success on a listen check because it's 1/5 of that value. So you both actually do hear something. You don't hear anything. You hear a slight, like a buzzing off in the distance, just very slight, like a buzzing of insects.
Can we tell which direction it's coming from?
In the direction you're walking, but it's very slight.
What do you think that is?
Honestly, it reminds me of what we saw out in the car, out in the car when we were driving here.
That seems like that would be a lot of insect activity.
Do you hear something?
See
something?
It's almost like it's like a hum. Would you not say that?
Yeah, if it were louder, I would say it was cicadas.
Really? Insect activity could mean that we are close to our destination?
Well, we could talk about it, or we can keep approaching the destination, see what happens.
So we're close to Montgomery Farm.
Yes, you are.
How close are we in terms of visuals for this farm?
Well, once you follow the trail into the woods and take the turn that you can see off in the distance, it should just be a couple of 100 meters further down.
Maybe keep an eye on the mud as we go.
Very thankful for the boots.
Ugh.
Can we see the outbuildings, because he said that his home was no longer standing. Skeet said Montgomery's home was no longer standing.
Correct. The Montgomery Farm Stead, the home is no longer standing.
Is there a very large boulder
Well,
near?
at the moment, you're
the
still
ruins of the
walking
building?
So
toward.
say
No.
we
We
keep
still
going
can't see
until we
anything.
get to the farm.
You need, like I said, as you look the trail into the woods, there's a turn, and once you get to that point, you
Okay,
can see beyond it.
I thought you meant that we were already past her. Okay. Yep. No. that's
Okay,
good.
well, actually, we can jump ahead to that. If you continue on,
Okay.
you get to that turn and you look down. Just a couple hundred meters away, you can see it's sort of a little bit overgrown. And you can see what looks to be a burnt out house, or just a foundation with some black burnt supports and stuff still sticking out.
Okay.
And off to the side of it, you can see apparently what looks like a very large boulder. Well, I say very large. It's probably 8 feet high, 6 feet wide.
That is a large boulder.
That's massive.
Yeah, it is. It is completely massive.
Wow. And it
You're-
doesn't look like this could have come from anything nearby.
It doesn't look like it, no.
All right.
And this is from a couple of hundred meters
Even
away.
from a decorative standpoint, this is not a easy endeavor to get to someone's home.
You do also notice, the two of you, you can hear that buzzing
Is it coming
more
from the
prominent.
boulder?
It seems to be coming from, you're a couple of hundred meters away, but it seems to be coming from that direction. And Amos and Althea hear a slight buzzing coming
Oh,
from
for the
that
love of
direction.
God.
Buzzing. Buzzing means flies, insect activity. Insect
I'll
activity
move
can
closer
mean
to the boulder.
yes, definitely. I'll
Yeah.
pick up speed. I might actually even start like a slight jog.
Does boulder look like it's sitting on top of the ground or like it's indented in a bit?
It looks like it's indented in a bit from the distance that you're looking at it from. Well, I can just say as you start
As-
moving
as-
up, and
yeah.
is anyone keeping pace with Althea because she's jogging?
I'm gonna keep walking forward, but hang back a bit.
Yeah, same.
I'm debating on inspecting the remnants of the house.
But are you going to keep pace with Althea because
Yes.
she's jogging? So
Yes.
you're both going to be jogging.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say as you're at 150 meters, and by me pointing at two players who nobody knows who I'm pointing at, I'm going to say Marion and Amos. They've stayed back a little bit and taken their time moving up. Althea and Agatha go into a slight jog to get a bit closer. And as you get to within, say, 75 meters, and you're at 150, I would like both Agatha and Althea to make a spot hidden roll while they're looking at the boulder in the distance.
35, which is a success out of 40.
40 out of 25. So it is not a success on my part.
You,
seeing a lot of
Agatha,
stuff.
no, you notice something which is weird. It looks like the boulder is moving.
Huh.
And as you just stare at it a little bit as you're continuing to jog, it looks like something is squirming over it, but completely over the whole surface area of the boulder. But you're a bit still too far away to really pick out what it is.
Am
you
I-
do not notice.
Am I
this.
matching pace with her?
That's what
she's
you-
right beside me.
Yeah.
Can I grab her to stop? Because I'm a little startled right now.
Sure.
That was so
It was quite an
What?
ineffectual
What
grab.
is it?
I'll
What
let
is
go.
it?
It's a grabby noise.
Do you not see that?
See what? See what?
There's something like, I don't know. It looks almost like something's living on that boulder.
I'll let you roll.
Really?
I'll let you.
Fascinating. We need to get closer. Come on.
She'll just be.
What makes you think that's a good idea?
This is the whole reason we came out here.
I would suggest caution.
She's gonna let you
Oh,
roll
caution. Well, yes, caution is sensible.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to Marion
Or
and
not.
hello.
and Amos as you pretty much catch up to them because they've stopped long enough.
Yeah.
What's
and they
going
seem
on?
to be having a discussion.
I'm looking at this boulder and it looks like something's alive on
Yeah.
it.
Take out my notebook and jot that down.
So
Take a
anyone who wants to at this point can roll a spot hidden with a bonus percentile.
I already rolled one, so I'm assuming I can
No,
do it.
you can
anyone?
roll. Yes, because
Okay.
now you have new information, so you get to re-roll the roll.
Other than me?
You've already seen
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say.
I rolled an 11 out of 25.
I rolled worse than I did last time.
Okay, so an 11 out of 25 is a success. You can put a tick on the spot hidden.
I already got one.
Do you have one?
13.
Which is a success as well, I'm
Yes,
assuming.
it is.
So you can put a tick next to that if you don't already have one. So Marion, Amos, and Agatha, all three of you notice that it looks like there's a variety of insects and centipedes
Nope.
completely coating and covering the boulder. There's also the three of you also hear that buzzing sound, and it's definitely coming from there. Althea, on the other hand, you still do not notice this, as they're all trying to... Well, let's jump to you guys.
Oh gracious. Are they anywhere but the boulder or just on the boulder?
It just looks like to be all over the boulder.
What?
Nope.
Why aren't they crawling towards it? No. Do they normally do that?
What? Who's they?
All of the insects and they're not all the same type. There's I've seen roaches swarm, but never like this. And what on are they? Why are there worms on a rock?
Okay, first of all, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. And second of all, that sounds fascinating. And how do I, so this is...
Okay, go touch the rock.
Maybe with a stick.
Okay, I don't understand what it is that you're seeing, but we're in the middle of nowhere. This is Grassy Fields Farm. There's bound to be insect activity, natural activity of all kinds.
But this is covered. Like it's absolutely. Do you not see?
It's been here for 10 years or more.
I understand that, but is it not odd that Montgomery died? How long ago?
10 years?
It's 10 years, yeah.
There shouldn't be anything that's drawing these insects.
Amos, pass me the shovel.
I may not know much about bodies, but I know that after 10 years of exposure, there should not be anything left.
I walk up to the boulder and I poke it with a shovel.
Okay, so right now you're around 75 meters away, so do you want to start walking
I'm
forward?
going to start walking forward.
I'll
I'm not
go
going to
with
go
her.
quickly. I'm going to walk.
You're going to walk? Okay, so Marion and Amos are both walking toward the boulder. Is anyone else going?
I will too.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to start walking toward the
Yes.
boulder. As you get to 50 meters, you don't even need a roll. You also notice this.
Oh, that is amazing.
Not quite the word I would use, but to each their own.
But
Fascinating but
it's-
disgusting, yes.
but it surpasses what you would possibly believe about the natural world. Why are they here like this? And especially considering the activity that has been here already, the vegetation that's here, the fact that we know there's a corpse underneath that rock. I mean, this is just...
What do you mean by vegetation? What's unusual about the vegetation?
Well, it
all
smells.
dead.
It's really bad.
This is when you notice that the smell is quite pronounced here. It smells like rotting meat,
Is there anything
like a rotting
This is familiar.
flesh smell.
Is there anything visibly rotting anywhere? Is
Not that you can see. Not that you can see.
I start inspecting the area around the boulder and
Okay.
seeing if I can find where that smell is coming from.
Okay, so you're at around 50 meters now. So we'll just move you closer. Is everyone going with it?
Yeah.
Yes, I
I'll
most
speed up a little
definitely.
bit. I have a sneaking suspicion as to what might be here, an assumption. So I just wanted to hurry my pace up.
I'm
Althea
going
is,
to tie a
is-
handkerchief around my face first.
Althea is definitely joining Amos because this is what she came here to find out and see.
So as you walk a little bit closer, you get to within 20 meters. I mean, that's still a fair distance away. Around 20 meters away, the buzzing, that sound, you all start feeling a little bit dizzy as this buzzing continuously is going through you. I need everyone to make a hard Constitution check.
That's a 2.
3.
Wow.
16 out of 55.
Success. 81 out of 70.
You said hard check,
A
right?
hard check would be the half value or
Oh,
less.
okay. Yeah.
So 16 out of 27.
Yeah. So Agatha is the only one who has failed this check. So this is what at 20 meters away. I'm going to let you all sort of notice this as Agatha falls to her knees. And you look at her, and she seems to have a nosebleed. And she sort of holds her head, and then she falls over on her side.
Oh,
I'll immediately go over to her. Agatha, are you all right?
She's not responsive, but she's breathing, and everything seems okay in that department, but she seems to have fallen unconscious.
Am I able to do?
Is she dehydrated? Is this heat stroke? What happened?
Uh,
I put like a handkerchief up to her nose and like.
And as you put the handkerchief up to her nose, Amos and Althea, you notice that Marion's nose is starting to bleed. Your nose. As you put the handkerchief.
Yeah, I don't notice this. I'm helping her.
wait, your nose starts bleeding?
Apparently, because
Oh.
I had a handkerchief over my face because it stank.
Amos, you take care of hers. I'll look after Agatha.
My what?
Mine's
What's
not-
going on? Is she okay?
No, nothing.
Can I do a medicine or a first aid to see if I can?
First aid would be the role. A medicine role is more meant for surgery, setting limbs, and stuff like that. But first aid, just to check the condition.
Yes.
While she
Alright.
does this, I'm going to actually move closer to the rock, but we can do that after this.
14 out of 50. Success.
On the first aid, yeah. So it just seems that to you and your medical expertise that Agatha has just passed out. Could be dehydration. Could be. You don't really find anything wrong. Breathing is normal, but has just fainted, like has fallen unconscious.
She seems fine, except for the fact that she's unconscious.
What can we do? Do we give her water? Do you have smelling salts?
And then Althea, as you're over your doctor's bag and working, you notice blood dripping from your nose and hitting your doctor's bag.
You're bleeding. Are you okay?
Son of a bitch.
Well, there's no need for that. But do we need to head back to town?
And I'll look over at Amos.
I've approached the rock. I'm getting closer to the rock to see what's causing it.
Yeah. So he's you notice he's walking closer to the rock.
Wait. I'm assuming we'll probably end up having to leave. 3 out of 4 of us currently have a nosebleed. One of us is unconscious, and we have no idea why. Perhaps there's toxins in the air here. Maybe that's what's attracting the insects.
And at this point, I'm going to jump in. So as Amos is around 10 meters away, the buzzing becomes quite... It's all you can hear. You start getting a headache. I need you to make an extreme difficulty constitution roll. And Marion and Althea need to make another hard constitution check.
13 and 16?
That is a fail on a hard check for me.
Did you say 13 out of 60?
27.
16. 13 out of 16. So I made it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have 52 out of 27, so that's a fail for me.
Okay.
43 out of 37. So it's a fail.
For a constitution check? What's your
You said hard, right?
Oh, yeah, true, 37. Yeah. Okay, so as you're within 10 meters and both your nostrils start bleeding, you can feel a blood vessel in your eye sort of pop. And you're looking at this, you look back and you notice all 3 of your companions unconscious on the ground.
Nope. I'm noping so hard out of that.
Yeah, and then you can see this. It seems to be this noise is coming directly from the boulder.
Right.
It seems to you. I'm trying to find the best way to work this out. I need you to make a check for me, and it's going to be.
I want to.
It's going to be a spot hidden. It's going to be a spot hidden.
Okay. No. 88 out of 25. No.
I'll also roll your intelligence as well.
Okay. 57 out of 70. That is a success.
As you're this close and you're really starting to feel the effects here, you notice that the sound, that buzzing sound, isn't coming from the bugs. It's being dampened by the bugs. The bugs are coating the boulder to dampen the sound that's coming from the boulder.
Thank you, bugs.
Oh, now I don't know if I want to do that.
What would you like to do?
Yeah, Lindsay just wrote a note and said, set it on fire! And then as soon as you said that, she wrote, don't, in big letters in front of it.
I was thinking about lighting it on fire, and now I'm considering not lighting it on fire.
Fill it with fire! Or not.
I will quickly take a picture
Okay.
as I start walking backwards.
How long does it take to take a
Oh,
picture?
wait. The older cameras. It takes a little while.
I have to say that if you were going to take a picture, you'd have to make another extreme constitution.
No. Oh, God. I don't want to remove those bugs now. Okay. No, with that, I'll just kind of make a mental note, and I will actually head back towards these three that are now all unconscious, and I'm going to try and start taking them away as best as I can.
So as you're walking back, as you start walking away from the boulder, the insect-covered boulder, you notice that the noise gets increasingly better. That it's not affecting you as hard. You've made your body has withstood the invasion of the sound, if you will. And you're getting a little bit more accustomed to it, so it doesn't seem to be affecting you as bad as you're walking away from it.
Okay. All right. So basically, when I get to these three, it's not as debilitating.
No.
Okay. So it's not going to encumber my ability to try and pull them away.
No.
Okay.
Although you do have a bit of trouble seeing out of your left eye.
That makes sense. I will slowly, we'll take my time, and I will get all three of them at a much farther distance away and down the road a bit.
How far would you like to... Who's the first one you would like to drag through the mud? Well, it's a bit dried now, so it's not too bad, but who would be the first one you're dragging away?
The first one who fell was Agatha, so I'll take Agatha first.
Okay. And...
I'll take her back to like the 75.
Okay,
yard
fair
mark
enough.
From where
so
we
from the
first
20
started.
meters, you drag her
Yeah.
to around 50 meters, and then Agatha, you wake up at 50 meters away. You just shake yourself awake. You feel a little bit delirious, like you just woke up from a fever dream.
What happened?
You good? Okay, stay. And then as she regains consciousness, I will go and grab the next person.
But let's not forget that as Amos is looking down on you and saying, stay, he has a blood vessel burst in his eye. Both of his nostrils are bleeding. He looks a bit haggard. The veins are bulging on his forehead. As he continues to walk back, and as you sort of still on the ground look up the trail, you can see Marion and Althea in the dirt unconscious.
What happened? What's going on?
Oh, I've already left to grab the next person, so dragging her. towards you.
I tried to get up and try to be somewhat aidful.
Mm-hmm. You notice that you find it quite hard to stand, so you pretty much just sit in the dirt for a little bit as you have a ringing headache.
I'll bring Marion over next, and then bring her to her and be like, just watch over Marion. I'll go
And
get
the
it
same
off to you.
thing with Marion is at the 50 meter, give or take mark. It's not an exact science. Marion, you wake up as well.
Well,
I'll be right back.
Oh goodness, you do not look good. And I look over
First time I've
at
heard that.
at Agatha there. And how does she look?
She's bloody nose. Looks like she has quite the headache.
Oh, you're awake. Are you all right? Oh, here. Do I still have my handkerchief, or I lost it at some point?
It would be still on the
I
ground
lost it. Okay.
up where Althea is.
Okay.
I'll
what
grab it.
happened? What? Where?
You fell. You. I don't know. There was.
Why
you
is
had
your
a-
nose bleeding?
Why is yours?
Well, I don't know.
As Amos grabs the
Back Althea.
handkerchief
Yeah.
and Althea by under the arms and brings her back, and at around the 50 meter mark, you also wake up in a start. You also
What the
grabbed
hell is
doctor's
happening?
Bag.
Yeah, anything that's left, I'll just take it all with me.
I have no. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Agatha, are you all right? You passed out for a little bit there.
Y'all
Are
passed
you feeling
out.
better?
You didn't?
You don't.
You know,
Notice
I
his,
got a
his
killer
left
headache.
eye.
You do not look good. You should sit for a
Oh
moment.
my god, let me take a look at that eye for a moment. First aid check.
Just the stink eyes. Yeah.
98 out of 50. I don't know what's
Wow.
wrong with your eye.
Oh my god.
I'm a terrible doctor.
Pokes my eye out.
I poke at it a little bit and said,
It bleeds.
It hurts.
looks like it's painful. Yes,
Thanks, Doc.
you're welcome.
You're lovely.
I know.
Wait, you got. I remember you were getting closer. Did you see what happened to us?
You passed out.
Clearly.
No, besides us, what did you see? Did you get close to that crowd?
Well, it gets noisier when you get closer to the rock. The head hurts a little bit more. It's almost like I'm willing to bet that whatever. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that whatever caused you all to go unconscious is from underneath the insects, and that they're actually making it a lot less worse.
How do you mean?
I have a feeling like if the insects were to be gone, that
No.
noise
I
would be more
understand. I
apparent.
understand that, but the sound.
Yeah.
Oh, sound can do incredible things to the human body.
No, I mean, but emanating from a rock.
Oh, it
Maybe
might
there's
not
something
be
under the
perhaps be the rock. It could still be the insects. There are many different insects that emit
No,
different
I don't
noises and
think you-
combine together.
Quite understand. I don't think it's the insects that's causing the noise. I think that they're attracted to the noise and they've been swarming it.
Okay. I suggest that we go back to town, get ourselves some proper ear stuffing, and make our way back out here and try this again.
At this moment, you notice that the sun is going down, and at pretty soon it will be evening, turning into night, which is a little bit strange because when you arrived, it seemed like it was a few hours away from this point.
Regardless, it does. I don't think we should be here too much longer.
Knowing the time of the look at supposed site at the time of day and how long it took to get here, would we be able to get back to the general store in time for?
If you leave now, you should be able to get back to the general store.
Let's go to
as
the store
night falls.
and talk about this and try and see if we can come back tomorrow earlier.
I kind of give the son a curious look. Does anyone have a pocket watch?
Oh, I do.
Do you mind checking the time?
And I'll pull it out of a pocket. It's in my pants.
The watch is dead.
Son of a bitch.
And you know it's a wind watch,
I'll
not a battery.
turn it and start winding it. This thing has...
Doesn't
I
seem to
mean-
be working.
I wound this only yesterday.
I tried to turn on the flashlight.
You notice as you turn on the flashlight, it seems a bright light for around 2 to 3 seconds, and then it starts blinking and shuts itself off.
We have a lantern, right?
Let's start walking and
Let's head on back
Yes.
to the general store.
put that let's get as much distance between us and this place as possible before we pause again.
Yes, it will have to wait. After all, we are going to need properly working supplies before we come back out here. And my watch is going to need some attention.
Is it possible that someone can help me walk? My migraine is just, it's numbing.
No, I'll help you out.
Thank you.
So the four of you start making your way back to Swill's Gullet.
Thank you for listening to this Twisted Gear Studios production. Our next episode of The Call will air Tuesday, November 20th. Tuesday, November 13th is the next episode of Spacers, our Starfinder podcast. This Friday, November 9th, is the next episode of our collaboration podcast with MacGuffin Media, The Legend of Xingdong. The game system used today was the Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition by Chaosium. Music in this episode was licensed by Video Copilot. Sound effects and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films and Video Copilot. For up-to-date content, please subscribe to the Twisted Gear Studios YouTube channel. You can find Twisted Gear Studios on Facebook and SoundCloud, as well as Twitter and Instagram at the Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Zach Barrett, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and your GM, or keeper, this evening was Derek Snow. If you were in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me, Zach Barrett, at Tavern on Main every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.